Before I share these thoughts with you today, I want you to pause for just a moment and ask yourself, what would your life look like if you stopped starting and quitting and instead forced yourself to finish? And if you're brave enough to act despite them, you'll discover that your true strength has little to do with how motivated you feel and everything to do with the fact that you chose to show up anyway. Think about it. Any goal, no matter how large, is really just a series of small steps. Writing a book is not about locking yourself away for weeks and producing brilliance. It's about showing up to write, even when the words come slowly. And those quiet choices made consistently will do more to shape your future than you can possibly imagine. One of the hardest truths about consistency is that it isn't just about fighting the world around you. It's about fighting the resistance that comes from within. Your own mind will resist the very thing it needs most. It will whisper excuses, tempt you with distractions, and magnify every discomfort until stopping feels easier than continuing. And this resistance isn't a sign that you're weak or incapable. In fact, it's a sign you're stepping outside what's comfortable and familiar, and that's exactly where real growth begins. We tend to imagine discipline as a battle fought only once, like flicking a switch from lazy to motivated. But the reality is, you'll face these internal battles over and over again. Some mornings you'll wake up determined, and some mornings you'll wake up doubting everything you planned. The temptation to give yourself a break, to postpone your commitment, just this once, will always be there. And here's the most dangerous part. These excuses often sound reasonable. After all, you're tired, you've had a long day, or you'll start fresh tomorrow. Your mind will make stopping feel so logical that you barely recognize it for what it really is. Fear disguised as kindness. The reason it's so important to force yourself through this resistance is because every time you do, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than your excuses. It's not about denying your feelings. It's about refusing to let them drive your decisions. Feelings change from hour to hour, day to day. But the person you want to become and the future you're trying to build needs stability. And the only way to offer that stability is by choosing to act even when you'd rather not. There will always be a voice inside that questions why you're pushing so hard, why you don't just slow down, why you bother at all when no one seems to notice or care. And in those moments, you have to remind yourself that you're not doing this for applause or quick validation. You're doing it to build something real, something lasting, something that still stands even when the world is silent. And that kind of strength doesn't come from occasional bursts of effort. It comes from training your mind to keep going through discomfort, boredom, and fear. Training your mind isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about building the discipline to keep moving even while you feel doubt, fatigue, or frustration. It's about recognizing your own patterns, the ways you procrastinate, the stories you tell yourself about why you can't, and the moments when you're tempted to trade what you want most for what feels easiest right now. And instead of believing those stories, you choose to act anyway. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Growth always is. The mind loves routine and predictability, and consistency challenges both. It forces you to leave the safety of a maybe tomorrow and commit to action today. But this is where real confidence comes from. Not from never doubting yourself, but from learning that doubt doesn't have to stop you. Over time, pushing through those mental barriers becomes less of a struggle. Not because resistance disappears, but because you've taught yourself to expect it and keep going anyway. What's truly powerful about forcing yourself to train your mind is that it changes how you see obstacles. Instead of viewing discomfort as a reason to stop, you begin to see it as proof you're on the right path. You understand that resistance is part of the process, not a signal you should quit. And each time you overcome it, you build resilience. This resilience doesn't just help you in your current goals. It becomes part of who you are, shaping how you face every future challenge. In my own life, there have been countless moments when quitting would have been easier, when doubt felt heavier than hope, and when stepping back felt safer than moving forward.